Good morning everyone. Today we're going to be talking about battle power. So when you press escape, you can see that there's this big number over here, which is like my battle power or my attack power or whatever you want to call it. It's just a gauge to see how strong your character is. The higher the number, the more stronger your character is, and certain activities in the game will require a certain amount of battle power. But first of all, if you're new to the channel, I upload PSO2 content daily, so if you do play this game, I'd really appreciate a subscribe as it really helps out the channel. Anyway, without further ado, let's begin the video. Alright, so first things first, and what determines your battle power? So your battle power is determined by multiple things, but one of the most biggest impacts is going to be your class. So your class level over here, as regular PSO2, you have a main class and you have a subclass. So depending on the level of your main class and your subclass will determine specific stats and will impact your total battle power. We can also associate battle power with like gear score if you're used to like Final Fantasy 14. It's very similar in the sense, okay? So you can see right now that my main class is a hunter and my subclass is a gunner. But let's flip it around. So now I am a main class gunner and a subclass hunter, and we can see that my battle power has lowered because certain stats have decreased because my main class is only level 9 and my subclass is level 13. So leveling up the classes is probably the easiest way to increase your battle power. Another way to increase your battle power is going to be the skill tree. So we come to the third option over here, the skill tree, and you can see that I have maxed out the gunner skill tree, I have maxed out the hunter skill tree, I maxed out every skill tree because there's literally only 6 points here. And in order to unlock these skill points, you have to go around the world and do different cocoons. So when we open up my map over here, you're going to see that there are these little white boxes and these are different cocoons. So you can see there's a bunch over here. When I click on it, it opens up. It's like a VR thing, and then there's different things and there's different challenges, and you want to do all of the challenges in order to complete it. However, you don't need to get 5 stars from the cocoon. As long as you've completed the cocoon, you will automatically get the skill point, and that way you can spend the skill point over here and unlocking all your skills. Now the nice thing and the biggest change here are your skill points are universal. So for example, when I get 1 skill point from doing a cocoon, that gives me 1 skill point for the hunter class, it gives me 1 skill point for fighter, gives me 1 skill point for ranger, 1 skill point for gunner, so forth and so on. So technically, depending on your classes, whenever you do the cocoons, you only need to do all 6 cocoons one time. You don't need to do it every single time on every single class. You just do it on whatever class you're most comfortable with, and you get skill points for all the classes, and you'll be able to unlock all the skills. So that way, for example, let's say that you don't like playing hunter, but you want the hunter iron will. Well, you don't need to play hunter. You can just play whatever class you want, get the skill points, put it in, and then have the hunter subclass at level 1 and still benefit from the iron will, which is very, very nice. However, the leveling process is different. Every single class needs to be leveled individually. Obviously, you can boost this a little bit by having the subclass. So you can see here that I had the gunner as the subclass for some time, and I was able to get it to level 9, while the main class is level 13. However, if you want to level up all the other classes, you can see my fighter, my ranger, my techer, and my force are all still level 1, and I will need to level them individually. And even more importantly is my gear. So because certain classes are low level, they won't be able to equip some of the gear that I'm currently using. So for example, if I was playing the hunter class the entire time and I wanted to switch to the fighter class, for example, if I had a 3-star rarity fighter weapon like the fist weapons, I would not be able to equip it, mainly because 3-star weapons require you to be level 8 and above to equip it. I would only be able to equip 1-star rarity weapons because my class is only level 1. However, to get around this, what you can do is you can have your hunter as the main class and then have the fighter as the subclass, because then the game will allow you to equip 3-star rarity weapons because you are above the minimum level. You are now level 13 and not level 1, so you can equip your 3-star rarity fists, which are very, very nice, and you can still cast all of your fighter PAs perfectly fine, which is an additional plus. Okay, now another thing I want to talk about is the multi-weapon system. So you can see over here that I am currently playing hunter main class and fighter subclass. However, because I have the multi-weapon system enabled on my sword over here, I spent a lot of resources to do so, but I can still use my TMGs even though I'm not playing a class that can use TMGs normally. So you can see here that I'm fighting with my sword normally, but if I hold down shift, I can immediately switch to my TMGs and start using them, even though I'm not playing a gunner class, which is the only class which is supposed to be able to use TMGs. But there is an issue here, and that is I cannot cast any PAs. However, I can still use my weapon action, so if I still want the dodge roll, I can still do so, even though I am playing Hunter Fighter and not playing the gunner, okay? So this is something that's really cool and definitely very useful if you want specific weapon actions, I guess, because you're able to mix and match like that. All right, but back to the topic at hand, increasing your battle points. So in order to increase this even further, it is going to be your gear. So when we look at my gear over here, it takes everything into consideration. It includes your weapon enhancement, your weapon damage, your augments. It even takes into account your units as well. If your units are enhanced, if your units have augments on them, it takes account everything. Now, I don't know what the algorithm is on how it calculates all this stuff, but basically, if you want to increase your battle points, all you need to do is just get your character stronger. All you need to do is simply just enhance your units, enhance your weapon, put in some augments, and increase the level of your weapon potential. These are all factors that will play towards your battle point or your gear score, and that way you'll be able to participate in all the activities. And this is a really good change that I quite like, because it makes sure that the people that join your urgent quest or join your instance or join your dungeon or whatever activity you're doing, the game will automatically gear check all the players and let you know that, hey, your gear is not strong enough, you can't do this content yet. And thus it incentivizes people to gear up so that they can do urgent quests, so they can do the emergency quests, so they can do all these different activities in the game. So it's really nice because it's a very transparent way to let people know, hey, you need to gear up. This is how you're going to gear up. You're simply just going to enhance this, do that, and people can have fun and figure out how strong their characters can get. And there's a sense of progression as they look at this number slowly going up and they deal more damage and so forth and so on. So I really like this system. But yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about in today's video. Hopefully you guys found it helpful. If you did, I would appreciate a like and a subscribe, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye.
What can I say except you're welcome for the heals, the boosts, the res.